Hi Capricorn, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also put an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So, do that now. Okay, so we have Aquarius energy. So for you guys, that's actually your second house, and there's actually going to be 2 full moons in Aquarius this year. One right at the very start of Leo season, and then one toward the very end of Leo season. We have the South Node, which is in Sagittarius, which is your 12th house. So that's the house of spirituality, blind spots, mental health. And we also have 12 here too. So again, that 12th house energy. So Sagittarius for you guys. All right, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is actually Virgo energy here. So for some of you, this could just be saying that there might be a financial offer on the way, but you might find that, you won't tangibly have that in your hands until we get toward the end of August when Virgo season starts. So for example, just a super generic example, maybe you get a job offer, right? They might actually offer you the job, but tell you the start date September 1st or something along those lines. But that's what I'm seeing there. One way that could be playing out. For others of you, this could just be you actually, possibly even investing, possibly going back to school or to get some kind of a certification so you could take a, go up to the next level to your current place of employment. And let's see if anything else comes to mind with this. For some of you, this could be expanding your business as well. Possibly to foreign clientele, since this is 9th house energy. So, you might just be, let's say you have a local business at this point, and you're just trying to expand to reach clientele all around the world. So you could be starting a website, things along those lines, but that's a few different ways those energies can be playing out. All right, in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Ten of Swords. So this could just be saying that this is something you might have given a lot of thought to, or if this is an offer coming your way as well, could have just felt like it took forever for it to actually get there. Another reason this could be coming up in a challenger position as well could just be saying that, of course, if you get a job offer, you might have to leave your current job behind. So just a few different ways I see that energy playing out. But yeah, given that this represents thoughts, and for you guys, this is Gemini energy, which is your 6th house, it could just be saying that you've given a lot of thought to this decision, and now you're actually finally going to have some movement on it this month. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 8 of Cups, which is Pisces energy, Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Cups, which is Cancer energy. So, for some of you, this could just be pointing to what I was saying, where you might be leaving something behind because you have a new offer. And if that's the case, looks like the timing was just right for you to do so. So, I feel like you might have just felt like you've outgrown it, right? Or maybe there wasn't as much fulfillment doing it as you used to have. So for the majority of you, I do feel like it's a job thing. Now, for some of you, it can be a romantic relationship too, especially since this is Cancer energy, which represents your opposite sign. But yeah, for the majority of you, I feel like this is more of a career-focused month for you. Let me see if anything else comes to mind with this. And it could just be saying as well that this is something, that you would be more passionate about as well. So, maybe the other job brought you more stability in certain areas, but you want something that you're actually more passionate about. And that's what you're going to be moving toward. In the past position, we have the Lovers. So it could just be saying that whatever this was, your previous place that you're at, again, going back to that work scenario, it could just be saying that there was a lot of fulfillment there initially, but obviously from the looks of the energy here, it might have felt like that ran its course. For some of you, this could have been something that initially you started to think about around Gemini season too. That might have been when you got the ball rolling. Maybe during that Mercury retrograde in Gemini and the eclipse that we had there as well, that might have been what made you start to reconsider, do I still want to pursue this path, or do I want to possibly look at other options? And with that symbolism there too, I feel like this is saying that there could have been some things being worked out behind the scenes in your favor around the situation too. All right, in the present position, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So to me, this is actually a Capricorn energy for one, but to me, this says that you're still a little bit guarded around the situation, maybe because you've been possibly bracing for a shift from one career to another. You might have been budgeting a little bit more recently. But yeah, I feel like this is just definitely representing a bit of a guarded energy and trying to think about where you want to best invest your time, energy, resources in the future. All right. In the near future position, we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy, Death, which is Scorpio energy, the Empress, which is usually Taurus energy, can be Venus as well. Can be Libra as well, since it's Venus. Knight of Swords, Gemini energy, and the Sun. So a whole lot going on here. But really, the way that I'm seeing this, looking at these cards, with the Emperor immediately followed by the Death card and then the Empress, could just be saying that, you might actually have to try to open up into a more receptive energy this month. Maybe you're always on the go, possibly, constantly pushing forward, right? I feel like it's saying that if you take that softer approach and be a bit more receptive this month, this would actually get you closer to your goal in a faster way. And it could just be saying, to try to have a little bit more faith around things too, and just have a little bit more trust in the universe, and try to enjoy yourselves a bit this month as opposed to always being on the go. Let's see if anything else comes to mind with that. Yeah, and this could just be saying as well, given that this is Gemini energy, which represents, which is ruled by Mercury, could just be saying that as it moves through, as Mercury wraps up its transit through Leo, you might actually get that forward momentum and news that you were waiting for. Especially for you guys, Leo represents 8th house energy, so for some of you, let's say this might have been a loan that you've been waiting on, right? Maybe it was overdue, a tax refund, you name it. So maybe there's just been some money you've been waiting on that was already due to you, if it's not around a new job offer, for example. And if that's the case, looks like that could be coming through this month as well. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Two of Swords. So this is Libra energy here, and this could just be as simple as saying, especially for you guys, Libra being your 10th house of career and social status, that you have two offers that you're mulling over, right? Which one do you want to go with? But for others of you, this could just be saying that it looks like you're definitely in a bit of a still energy right now, but I feel like it's saying, these are both kind of closed off energies, right? So whereas with the Empress, for example, there's stillness there too, but there's a more open, receptive energy. So I feel like that's what it could be saying. It's one thing to be still and feel like, okay, I'm not going to push myself, but at the same time, you might be being asked to be a bit open too, to let things come your way. So that's what I'm seeing there. In the environment position, we have the Eight of Swords. So same kind of energy there too, basically. Very similar to the Two of Swords in that regard, where there's no movement. And this is Gemini energy here too. So yeah, so for some of you, this could definitely be around possibly switching jobs this month. Now, the good thing is with this in the environment, seeing that 10 of Swords and the Challenger obstacle, normally we wouldn't think of the 10 of Swords as a good thing, but that combined with that Knight of Pentacles tells me that you will actually be able to come out of that energy this month. Just might possibly take until Virgo season, like we said, since that's a Virgo card there. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Chariot. So I'm going to assume this is a hope for the majority of you, and this could just be saying that you're hoping for that forward movement, right? Maybe you feel like you've been stuck in place for too long. So maybe part of you, you're in this energy, but you don't necessarily want to be in this energy, right? So you're like, all right, I just want this to be over with already. And like I said, if that's the case, looks like there's supportive energy to get that moving this month anyway. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Six of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, Five of Swords, also Aquarius, and Five of Wands, Leo energy. So a couple things come to mind with this. Well, for one, we did talk about how Aquarius came up in your dice, so definitely keep an eye out for those two Aquarius full moons. Maybe you get some insights there, especially for you guys, that's your second house of finances and self-worth, possessions. So if it's around finances, for sure, you might be hearing some news around those full moons. But yeah, I feel like this is saying that with that Six of Swords, with the two fives, which usually represent conflict in this case, but the Six of Swords usually represents moving calmer waters. For somebody, this could represent maybe if this has been a toxic work environment that you guys have been in, that opportunity coming your way, that brand new opportunity might actually allow you to get out of that, right? Maybe if this has just been a competitive environment as well, or maybe even the job you applied for is a very competitive field. It could just be saying that you're actually, rather than stressing over it, you're just going to let your work speak for itself, right? So if you already put it in your resume, you're going to just trust that, okay, you know what? I made that step. I'm just going to trust that things will come my way. And that could be why you've been asked to be in that receptive energy as well in those other cards we were talking about. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So Virgo energy here. And this isn't always how this card speaks to me, but someone else had this card this month as well, and I saw it the same way. But what stands out to me here is we see the Six Pentacles on the one side, and she's leaning on that. And then on the other side, we see the Three. But there's also a bird on that side too. So to me, this could be, again, the decision that you guys are facing, right? Maybe you have one job that might provide more financial security, more stability, because the Six of Pentacles is a very stable energy too, right? And then there's, on the other hand, there's something that you might have more creative input on. If we think about the Three of Pentacles energy, where it looks like they're building something artistic, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're trying to decide, okay, I could go to more traditional, stable route where I'd have more security around finances, or I could go with the path that has more freedom, right? And might speak to my soul a little bit more, but I have to have that understanding that maybe the finances won't be as stable and steady in that field. So could just be the back and forth you guys are looking at there. If that's the case, you might finally come to that decision around the very beginning of September, which is when we would be in these degrees of Virgo. So keep an eye out for that. All right, moving on to your Oracle card. Actually, we got two this month. So the first one you guys got is Buy the Book. There's the artwork, and the number is 11. So read that first. Okay, it says abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, universal laws. The Oracle's message: the universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is the time to learn these laws and conform to them, rather than being the rebel and flouting them. This is the time, when this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules, even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to these universal laws, and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. So, pretty interesting message there. The whole part, well, one part of it made me think of the fact that we did see the Six of Swords pointing to you guys possibly avoiding some kind of conflict, right? And just having a little bit of trust and faith was something we talked about as well, which it seemed to mention there too. So hopefully that resonated with you. The relationship message says getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find a middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. So interesting message there. Didn't get a huge one-to-one relationship vibe in this reading, but if anything, that could be what we were seeing there with the Emperor energy moving with the Death card, and then the Empress could just be saying that, to be a little bit more open and receptive as opposed to always trying to take the lead in a connection. So hopefully that resonated with you as well. The prosperity message says at this time you can expect a return on your investment. Whatever you have pursued, be it a dream you've long cherished, a skill you've cultivated, or a service you're called to, will come to you if you are willing to go by the book. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful. Follow in the footsteps of others who have already achieved the thing you're striving for. You can learn a lot by observing the structures that are already working. Your creative projects and commitment to prosperity are in alignment with the needs of the world, but impatience may tempt you to cut corners to get there more quickly. Stick with what you know works, and you will attract abundance. So interesting message there with the cutting corners thing. That made me think of possibly that Five of Swords vibe and Five of Wands vibe, but with that Six of Swords, I'm pretty sure that the majority of you wouldn't do that anyway. So, but if you needed that second level confirmation there, hopefully that resonated with you. And let's see if anything else came to mind with that. Yeah, that was pretty much it. All right, so moving on to your next one, we have Unfinished Symphony. There we go. All right, there's the artwork, and the number is 10. Okay, so we don't have to go far for that, but let's see what that says. Okay, it says unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. The Oracle's message. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or a skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you're leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. So, interesting message there. Could definitely point to the closure energy we were seeing there with the Ten of Swords and the challenge, but hopefully that resonated with you. All right, the relationship message says moving on is difficult when love lingers, things are left unsaid, and you haven't had the opportunity for closure in your relationship and in your heart. You can still feel bound up in relationships when the closure is denied you. It's important to achieve this for yourself. Write that letter, make that call, or have that conversation over a cup of coffee. For peace of mind, accept things as they are, make amends if need be, and declare your feelings, even if only to yourself. Be clear about what was left unresolved, and close the door on the past so you can set yourself free. Only then can new love blossom. So yeah, again, like I said, I wasn't getting a huge relationship vibe here. In fact, sometimes that Nine of Pentacles energy can point to a single energy, but hopefully that resonated with you guys. Hopefully, worst case next week, I'll be doing a love reading, so you might get more insight there. The prosperity message says make sure you complete projects now before starting new ones. Perhaps you have created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything but more clutter. Now is the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign the documents, do your filing, hand in an assignment, complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends, you can move forward with surety, knowing that you're on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. So that message there did make me think of the cards we see here with the Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Cups. Could just be saying that this is the time for you to wrap things up, and that could even be what that Knight of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords in the challenge position is pointing to as well. So hopefully that resonated with you. And lastly, we have a Mudra card. So the Mudra you guys got this month is this here. It's the Mandala Mudra. The keyword for it is vision. All right. We can't fit all the info in the frame here, but if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can do that, and then we'll move it up to get the rest in the frame. All right, so under benefits, it says awakens supreme devotion and enlightened attitude, improves concentration, evokes insight into the transitory nature of all things, serves as a physical expression of your own original nature. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name of it in the description of the video. As always, wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.